Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gamestah TV. Boy, do we have a series on right now. HKAYCEE and Team Flaccid duking it out on the rifts of on the rift, Summoner's Rift, the Fields of Justice. I'm getting myself confused. It's so exciting. We're into game number 3 of the grand final of the VEC Online League of Legends tournament. My name is HKAYCEEE, and I'm joined once again by Poon. And Poon, do we have a series or what? Oh, hang on, you're muted. Start again.
My apologies, everybody. I am, in fact, still here. Can't get rid of me that easily. And yeah, we do have a series on our hand. I mean, such a beautiful set of games so far, and both games extremely close in terms of gold and in terms of kills. And both teams just barely clawing a victory, one apart, and this is going to be the tiebreaker in terms of whichever team gets the slight lead coming to this best of 5 series. So, very excited to see what they can pull out here and what both teams can do to kind of get these advantages and hopefully get the victory.
Yeah, it's been 2 great games up until now, very, very close matched, and as you said, kind of one turnkey moment in each of the matches that or each of the games that has led to the victory. While HKAYCEE are back on blue, both times it has been a blue, the blue side that has won. So let's just go through them very quickly. On the blue side, HKAYCEE with Syche, Dream, Jonty Wanty, Spectre, and Sykes. And on the red side, Team Flaccid, represented by Limes, as we've been told, OPL Pro, Lazarus, Pro EE, and Valen.
Yeah, let's hope that Flaccid gets a bit hard this game and goes hard on the rift, as they will be doing their best job at trying to claw ahead.
That's so try hard, man. That's so try hard.
No, but puns aside, it is up to HKAYCEE to kind of dictate this game, because in the past 2 games we have seen them, in fact, have the early game advantage, and this game shouldn't be any different in terms of the team comps they pick. I mean, HKAYCEE known for having their ramping comps in terms of having a strong carry ADC, and Flaccid, we're used to seeing them pick an early to mid-game team comp, so we'll see what they can do this game.
Well, straight away we've got a variation from the first 2 games. In both of those first 2 games, Gnar was banned, and here we have a Gnar that has managed to get through the ban phase, picked up straight away by Syche.
Yeah, Gnar, one of those champions that can turn the tides of battle. I mean, such a beautiful top laner in terms of having a strong laning phase, and has a beautiful teamfight phase if he can time his Mega Gnar properly. So we'll see what he can do to kind of utilize the kit that this Gnar does have. And Syche, a very strong Gnar player, and I'd be very scared if I was the side of I'd be very scared if I were the side of Flaccid at this point in time. I mean, Gnar had been banned against him in the 2 previous games, and now he's onto a comfort champion, which is obviously that Gnar pick.
And well, it's not as though he's done poorly. Look, let's try and he'll be wanting to wipe away game number 2, because that Malphite, not a particularly fantastic pick for the comp that he was going up against, and he wasn't really able to have much of an impact after he used his unstoppable force, his ulti. So he's going to hope to maintain a much stronger relevance through the whole length of team fights, as well as I mean, Gnar is a great split pusher as well, so he'll want to have a much better game in game number 3. Dream onto his 3rd different jungler.
Yeah, Dream obviously showing he has an extensive champion pool, and obviously going to get off that Echo last game. Interesting itemization, actually, because he went for the Rod of Ages onto that Echo, not something I'm used to seeing, and not really sure if it was the best itemization in that game. He could have gone for the Cinderhulk into Iron Solari, or even the Cinderhulk into Abyssal Scepter, but we'll see what he can do in this game to kind of make a name for himself after the lackluster game last game on that Echo. But yeah, Echo on the other side, we actually see OPL Pro picking up that Echo, so we'll see what he can do, and if he can show Dream how to play the champion.
That name is going to destroy us, let me tell you, through this game. So just so people are wondering why we're taking so long to actually say OPL Pro's name, it's because we've been calling him Opal the whole game. And somebody in Twitch chat has just told us that actually it's OPL Pro. So shout out to OPL Pro for picking a name that's just absolutely just ridiculous.
Well, I
Okay.
wouldn't mind the name Opal. You know, he's a gem. You know, it's hard to attain. You know, it's you give girls opals. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I'd rock that name.
Is
But yeah.
is Sykes really going to be playing Brand? No, he's not. So, wow, he's going to lock in the Blitzcrank. So a bit of the old rocket grabbing, standing in the brush, reaching out, grabbing someone over, having a bit of a fondle, feeling them up. Well, that's going to be fun. He's got Draven on his in his lane as well.
Draven.
So, have you seen Spectre's Draven?
I was actually speaking to him this morning before the games began, and he said he played 10 games straight of Draven on his Smurf, so he's obviously ready and rearing for this game. And I told him that I'd do my best Draven voice cosplay thing if he did end up picking it. So, Draven. So there you go, guys. I've kept my word. But yes, I'm very excited to see what he can. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he can do on this Draven, because Draven, one of those champions, you get him snowballing, he's gonna carry a game by himself.
Oh, very exciting. So it's going to be interesting. Sykes on the Blitzcrank. Haven't seen a Blitzcrank in ages on the... well, I think the last time I watched a Blitzcrank in competitive play, it was from the LCS, and it was Afromu. So it's not a very common pick, and very, very easy to counter by picking a Morgana, which is exactly what Valen has done.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Blitzcrank not really seen in competitive play, and Morgana just straight up counters the champion, one black shield, and he doesn't do anything really. So yeah, but Lime's opting for that. Not Tristana, for the Lulu again. So obviously very comfortable with that champion, and Lazarus 3 out of 3 games playing that Azir.
Yep, quite happy to see it get through the ban phase and pick it up each time. Pro Double E this time is going to give us, is hopefully going to, well, he is hoping to give Spectre a lesson in how to play Tristana. So Spectre's had one really good game on the Tristana, and one game where he fell behind quite significantly, but was starting to come back as the late game approached. But for OPL Pro's excellent Dragon Steal there on the 5th Dragon. So Pro Double E, he's going to carry on the Tristana fame, I assume.
Yeah, Tristana obviously being a contested pick, and it's quite interesting to see that Sivir hasn't been picked across by either team in these best of 3 game. The 3 games that have been played thus far. And in high competitive play in terms of Korea and in China, NA, even EU, Tristana not as contested as something like a Sivir or an Ashe, and even a Jinx is more contested than these champions. So quite interesting to see that both these teams are putting such high priority on towards these 2 champions. But yeah, obviously not going to see that Victor again being banned, and Jonty Wanchi onto a combat champion. And
third different champion as well.
Yeah, although Zia had a bit of outplay mechanics towards LeBlanc, because he used to be able to knock her up mid W, right? But now that they've removed the knock up on Azia's E, there's less counterplay towards the LeBlanc lane, so LeBlanc should win this lane outright.
Just having a look at HKC and picking up on that LeBlanc and Draven, both very snowbally champions. So HKC will be looking to take control of the early game, which is not something that they've been able to do. In each of the previous games, Flaccid have really held the early game. That said, in the first game, I would say it was probably even Stevens more than an advantage in favor of Team Flaccid. But really, it's going to be critical for HKC to get that snowball going on. In the previous games, they've had the late game to rely on as their kind of pull out of the back pocket. If things are going super long, just stall the game out and wait until you get to the late game. This time round, they're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. They have the snowball champions. I mean, none of their champions do that badly in the late game, but definitely the side of Flaccid do have the stronger late game. But let's see if they can put an emphasis on this mid game and early game rotations. But contrary to popular belief, Draven isn't really a strong laner in terms of, if he does get shot down, he does continually fall behind. It's really important to get those adoration stacks cashed in, and if he can in fact do that, it's going to be extremely strong for him in the lane. And it's going to be interesting to see if he does opt for that Bloodthirster first build, or if he goes for the Infinity Edge build with the Zeke's Harbinger again on Syche.
Wonder if Jonty Wanty's going to pick up a Medjai's again.
Oh yeah, let's see. I mean, Jonty Wanty, Medjai's is his favorite item actually. He does build it when he's behind to try get him back into the game, but
really,
it's a double-edged sword in terms of it. It has its benefits, but if you fall behind, it can also help you fall even more behind. So we'll see what he does. Yeah, he usually builds it on Orianna and Lulu because they're quite safe champions to pick up assists and stuff on. But yeah, we'll see what he does.
It strikes me as the gambler's gambit. You know, when you've been on a losing streak, you've got to just keep on playing.
Yeah,
because
and hope to win back.
Desperately trying to win your losses back, and more often than not, that bites you in the backside. Well, we're into the skin battle, and we got 4 skins across the top. Yay!
4 skins across the top, and Rek'Sai, the only one without the skin, unfortunately. And on the bot side, we have the Rocket Girl Tristan, the Victorious Morgana, Sandstorm Echo, and the standard Lulu skin once again. So, Team 4 skin on the top side, and only 3 skins on the bot.
It's surprising that it's HKAYCEE with the 4 skin and not Flaccid.
We'll be here all day, folks. I mean, don't worry about it.
Like, why would you choose a name like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't know what you kids talk about these days at school, but when I was at school, when you were all romantic and everything like that, you were being all softcock, Flaccid.
Here we go, guys.
Everyone that's watching
awaken the monster.
It is a. We do have a warning in our little intro video that we play. We do have a little warning that says, "Hey, this is for mature audiences only." Of course, that's mature audiences in terms of hearing things that are bad, not mature audiences as.
Well, I mean, although we have that warning initially, we do a good job of keeping our language and majority of the things we talk about to a good
clean. Yeah. We're pretty clean.
I like to keep it a bit, family friendly compared to EJ pulling out the mother jokes all the time and stuff. But shout out to EJ, another very good Gamestah shoutcaster. Hopefully to hear him soon. After. Because you and EJ may be casting one of our grudge matches, Go for Broke versus VLK, but looking back towards this game, both teams are obviously reading other teams' rotations, and
I mean, it's like they like passing notes to each other, because in both of the previous games, we've had 5-man teams going into each other's jungles and laying down lane swap wards, and now it's like both of them have gone, alright, we're going to wait for them to do a lane swap ward and we're going to gank them in the brush.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're even on the same side that they saw them go through, but obviously they might actually look towards the lane swap right now. Both teams are going to walk towards their blue side of their jungle and not really going to find anyone.
Because you don't want to invade against a Blitzcrank.
And you don't want to invade against Morgana with that start to the binding as well. So it's like both teams are a bit scared to go in on the other, and rightly so, because there's a lot of kill pressure on both invades. And actually the invade might go down and 2v1 on the top side, most likely.
No, I think they're just doing a lane swap. So that's a free lane swap for Team Flaccid. They'll be quite pleased with that, and they will get... Oh, Valen just gets spotted out by the boomerang.
Yeah, gonna do his best job of trying to freeze this lane here, but this isn't the worst case scenario, because although Nah doesn't do it fantastic in a lane swap, it doesn't do the worst in lane swap either, but the side of HKAYCEE do have the disadvantage at this point, because they had, Flaccid had the chance to double jungle, which gets their top laner to level 2 essentially for free. And we see the way that Syche is actually positioning. He's actually missing a lot of the gold, although Valen went towards the blue buff to try to get the ward down.
Yeah, so the question is going to be which of the top laners come out worst off out of this situation. Both of them have got 2 CS. The difference, of course, is that Limes has got his 2 CS off of jungle creep, so not quite worth as much gold, and probably, well, I think in terms of experience, they're probably neck and neck.
Yeah, and they're doing something we call horizontal jungling, in terms of they take the blue and red buff respectively across the map, opposed to vertical jungling, or horizontal vertical, well, up and down. Just vertical, but I mean, like, on this map...
Syche splashes forward in the mid lane. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Gets the rocket grab going, but forces the flash out of Lazarus, and that's all that happens. So we got flashes down, one each, and a gank coming into the top lane from OPL Pro and Limes, pushing Syche right away and actually getting some proxy farming going on down there. And now it's 4 players from Team Flaccid pushing onto this top turret. And Flaccid coming out with the innovative strats.
Yeah, they're going for the 4-man dive, which actually didn't go in their favor in terms of getting the kill up, which gives Dream the time to farm up. But yeah, this mid lane should go to the side of actually going to get this turret extremely fast with the explosive shot on Pro E. And yeah, pick up the early gold lead hopefully and bounce this wave back.
Yeah, they have done very, very well taking that up. Their gold lead stretches to 800 gold in the middle lane. Lazarus is getting ganked by Dream. A lot of attention on the mid lane. A flash away from Dream is too late. So the first blood goes down onto Jonty Wanty, but Lazarus manages to pick up a kill and a free blue pill as well. So he'll come back into lane with a little bit of an advantage. What in fact is he going to buy? He's picked up some magic resist and a second Doran's ring. So he didn't come out too badly out of that situation.
It's really interesting to see that Jonty Wanty opted for the Flask start opposed to a Doran's ring start. Doran's ring obviously offering a lot more damage, and actually a gank going down onto Syche in the top lane. There's no turret for him to actually run towards.
Yeah, this is surely going to go down. The question is he going to be able to get a kill in reply himself? And well, I said he's definitely going to be going down, but he got enough damage down onto OPL Pro to make them a little bit wary, and that gave him enough space to get himself out of trouble. Now in the bottom lane, Valen manages to get a binding down onto Syche and dodge the rocket grab, so he'll be quite pleased with himself. As Spectre and Syche try to get their push onto this lane. Pro EE, out of pushing down that lane, has picked up an Avarice Blade and will be trying to build up his gold a bit quicker so that his late game surge is maybe a little bit earlier than before.
I really can't say I'm a fan of this itemization though, because if Draven does gets that BF sword advantage, he's going to be doing a lot more damage than this Avarice Blade is, and Syche is going to try to go in, has the hook, and does hook Pro E here.
Oh, he's got him, but the rocket launch, the rocket launcher, or the rocket jump, anyway, gets him out of trouble. Spectre gets another spinning axe onto him, but no crit, so he'll be sad. Although he is laughing at the moment.
Yeah, and actually OPL Pro is looking towards the top side map, obviously trying to punish Syche here, because he has no turret, and there's no ward here to actually reveal that, so he actually might go down here.
Yeah, Syche holding on, does a great little juke, gets the flash out of OPL Pro, and that takes him down. While in the middle lane, Lazarus manages to get away this time, forcing both Dream and Jonty Wanty away with very, very low health, proccing the... a flash from Jonty Wanty, looks to get the burst down onto Lazarus, but he is surprised by the reply damage from Lazarus and taken down himself. So he won't be pleased with that.
No, he won't be at all. I mean, he almost got the kill there, but the shield across from Azir's E actually saved his life. So very well played there by Lazarus, and it's obvious to see which lanes both teams are looking towards, because
OPL Pro comes in for another gang. Parallel convergence goes down onto Spectre. He gets pushed away though, and they don't go for the tower dive, because especially in the early game, you do not tower dive a blitzcrank.
No, you don't. I mean, there's too much pressure for him to.
You just don't get away.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And also, OPL Pro didn't have access to his chrono shift, which is his ultimate to get out of there, given that he did dive, and don't want you getting dealt to in this lane, and Lazarus doing a very good job. We're going to ult for that early Abyssal Scepter, but once Spectre gets back into this lane, it's going to be BF Sword versus Avarice Blade, and Avarice Blade only gives you crit chance in gold on minions and per second, so it's going to be pretty much a BF versus Doran's Blade is the difference.
That said, Pro EE blue pilling now, heading on back. And how much gold does he have in his pocket? He's got 1,100, so not a BF sword just yet. But he'll get a pickaxe at least. So still has the damage advantage, yeah?
Yeah. Spectre definitely still has the damage advantage. I mean, those spinning axes are pretty much, you know, a pickaxe in themselves. And actually, a gank coming down top, Limes forced the flash, and obviously did see Dream there towards his blue, and blue obviously going to be given away, sorry, to John T this mid lane, but not if Limes can do anything about it.
Valen just doing a little bit of a wander through the jungle himself, gets some vision down, and Limes pokes at the blue buff, but it goes to John T anyway, who takes the safe route back to lane.
Yeah, and Spectre just going to sit in this lane and try to farm it out. I mean, obviously, Draven equally as hard of a carry as Tristana in the mid to late game, but the only difference is Tristana does have that mobility and range advantage. The only thing that Draven does excel in is that he has a damage advantage, and also he has that W, which obviously offers more movement speed and damage as well. But Syche in this top lane hasn't even picked up his Hex Drinker, sorry, but still going to go down, do some damage.
He's going in. The Mega Knight's about to arrive. He jumps over, procs the Mega Knight, gets the stun onto Limes, a stun back into the wall as well, and picks up the kill there. Limes stuck around for just too long, and beautiful timing there from Syche. Picks up a kill there in consolation for losing his turret so early, and he is well in command of his lane at the moment. He's 13 CS up on his lane opponent. So Limes, although all the pressure has been from Limes, in fact, the advantage has been from Syche instead. OPL Pro, in the meantime, picks up a kill on the LeBlanc, and John T, who really needs to get a snowball going, is not going to get a snowball going. In fact, he's got a reverse snowball going right now. Yeah,
John T just getting pretty much over-aggressive in this lane, trying to do too much, and he's getting ganked and ganked again, and using most of his escapes, trying to do damage.
It's the gambler's curse, man. It's the gambler's curse. He's overcommitted, and now he's going to go in. He's got to try and make something happen. OPL Pro in the bottom lane. A flash from Valen, gets his ulti down, the stun onto the Blitzcrank. OPL Pro picks up the kill and a killing spree. In fact, Pro Double E goes in there, takes a couple of turret hits, and has to flash away, use the Buster Shot defensively, but OPL Pro is still going in for the kill. He's looking for whatever he can. Both of the top laners have TP'd down, and now the question is whether Limes is going to actually be able to get away, because Syche has got the slows going on. Mega Knight comes in, and he doesn't get to throw a house and get any sort of stun down. Lucky Flaccid manages to get away there.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for the likes of Spectre, because probably lived on the very slightest amount of health, and if he did end up dying, it would mean a lot more gold in the pocket of Spectre, because he did have the Adoration passive stacked up, and what they will get in return though is a dragon, and the dragon never hurts. Also adds to their mid-game power spike if they can get, you know, this 5th dragon with a mid-game teamfight comp.
It's not a bad consolation prize.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of return kills. They did end up losing Sykes in the start of that fight, but they did turn it around and get another kill in return. So, Dragon 1 kill for 1 death is fine in terms of that trade. Let's just see if John T can actually scale up to this mid-game LeBlanc, because he falls further and further behind. He won't be doing enough damage to burst the likes of Pro E on that Tristana.
Well, pushed back into his lane at the moment, farming under the turrets and doing a reasonably good job of that. So he'll be quite happy. But of course, because he's under so much pressure, OPL Pro is able to get himself into a very deep position in the jungle. He's going to be going in onto Syche, comes in, looks for the gank down onto him. HKAYCEE Dream, though, coming along with a counter gank, using his ulti to get great position. Limes is in trouble now, and OPL Pro cannot do a huge amount to help him other than become the one who sacrifices himself in exchange. Somehow he's managing to stay alive, and Dream is going to be taken down. In arrives the cavalry, and to be specific, the Sand Soldiers, as Lazarus arrives. Does he actually get a kill though? Everybody goes very, very low, but everybody else escapes by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, that was a bit of everything there. I mean, OPL Pro did his best job at staying alive, and in fact if he opted for that Room Glaive, he might have been a bit squishy and died in that fight, but Cinder Hulk, coupled with that Sightstone, offers a lot of health, and yeah, very, very good job there by their side. And as we look towards the bot lane, Spectre actually 20 CS up on their counterpart Pro E, so doing a very good job on this Draven thus far.
Yeah, he's got his BF swords, he's one back away really from what I think is building an IE first up.
Yeah, he is looking towards the IE first up. I'm not sure how I feel about this build because with a team that has such short range damage, I prefer the Bloodthirster build because you can't really die. You do a lot of damage, but nonetheless, gonna opt for that build. Baits out the spell shield, but Limes will be on the bot side of the map to try get a gank off.
Yeah, he's just arrived, and I guess really the only thing that he can do here is help push the lane, because there really wasn't much of an opportunity to pick up a kill off of that gank. That means Syche is going to be able to split push without any sort of challenge, but the turret is going to go down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's the second turret that's under the belts of Flaccid here, and going to pick up the mid turret, so they've cracked the outer circle of turrets, and
quick as you please.
Very good job so far, yeah.
So Flaccid really the ones with the advantages at this stage. Jonty Wanty is a little bit behind, but HKC have the Draven in their pocket, and he is doing quite well. No kills just yet, so it's not really as though he's not had much opportunity. Well, he's thrown away any of his snowball chances, but I guess all he can do is what he's been doing, which is stay ahead and farm.
The issue here, though, is that Limes is in fact down on farm. He's only half the farm of his counterpart, which is Syche. And yeah, Syche doing a very good job of keeping up in farm with the mid laner, and Jonty Wanty's doing the same. So Flaccid is ahead at this point, but they're definitely not that far ahead that HKC can't come back.
And we have seen in the previous games that HKC have done a very good job when they've been behind of getting themselves back into the game. If I compare this to the second game, Flaccid, I feel as though they're slightly ahead of where they were in the second game. They don't have the dragon. They've taken down the turrets, but of course turret gold is something that you can only bank for a certain amount of time. As soon as your opponents take down turrets in return, which is exactly what Syche is going to do in the top lane, takes down the first turret, and in fact engages down onto Limes as well. Gets just the one stun before he turns into Mini-Knight, but Limes is gonna go down. He uses the flash, he's trying to juke at the moment, gets himself underneath the turret, and just manages to get away by a smidgen. In the bottom lane, Spectre has been forced out of lane as well. Sorry, Spectre has been forcing Pro EE out of lane.
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate for the side of HKC. Both top lane and bot lane did turn it on, and both the AD carry of Flaccid and the top lane of Flaccid lived by a smidgen of health, and if Spectre did in fact get that kill, he would have snowboarded extremely hard off that adoration stack.
He tried to go for a blue buff steal, he hasn't got it, he flashed away, but he was still in range for Valen Soul Shackles to proc the stun, and he goes down. Lazarus picks up his killing spree, and that is 40 seconds away from the Dragon. They've got an opportunity now, Poon, to establish some vision control.
Yeah, I mean, Dream's counter jungling without his mid laner even there to help, and Jonty Wanty not weak at by any means, but not as ahead as he would like to be right now, and this red's actually watered up, and Valen doing his best to try to interrupt this, but may very well steal it with Lazarus and Pro E there. I mean, not Pro E, sorry, OPL Pro.
The reinforcements have arrived, and Spectre forced to get himself out of the way as the red buff goes down onto OPL Pro. And, well, as they leave the jungle, Jonty Wanty and Syche are there. There's a little exit party going on, and the engage is fully on right now. Lots of low HP, the flash away, but Syche goes Mega Knight, gets a great stun down. Pro EE forced to rocket jump away. Just the one kill so far. Sorry, just as I call that, the jungler goes down as well. So OPL Pro gets taken down, so in exchange for a red buff, they sacrifice 2 deaths and in fact a second dragon.
And Jonty Wanty going to pick up another kill there for himself, so 2 kills over to Jonty Wanty and 1 for Syche. And as I said before, if you're good on that now, it's really going to start carrying these fights, and as you saw then, he got 3-4 man ult, although he didn't stun them into a wall, he displaced them enough for the side of HKC to do some damage. And the one thing that's not going in the favor of HKC right now is the fact that Spectre hasn't had the opportunity to cash in his adoration stacks, and he's probably sitting on 400 to 500 adoration stacks right now, and that's you know, a bonus 500 gold on his next kill.
Does he only gets it on kills, not on assists, right?
Yeah, kills only on assists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sitting on 380 bonus gold on his next kill. But if he dies, it's going to get cut down to 140 and then 70. So hopefully he cashes it in before he dies, because there'd be a lot of Draven's kit, you know, his passive being wasted if he can't really utilize that passive.
So he's going to have to make sure that he maintains good positioning throughout and just maintains patience, I guess. As long as he doesn't die, he is still okay and can suddenly burst into prominence and greater relevance when he does finally pick up that kill. And we know that Spectre's pretty good at his positioning. We've seen it in the play. So he's the right person, as we have a bit of an exchange going on in the mid lane. Jonty Wanty at this stage getting good damage down onto Lazarus, his lane opponent. So even though Jonty Wanty hasn't... Well, he does have a bit of a snowball going. Beautiful little pull there from Syche, and Jonty Wanty picks up yet another kill. So
yeah, Syche is actually out rotating his counterpart here in terms of top lane. I mean, he's so far ahead in gold and in CS, and almost actually going down. Lion actually might get taken down here by the Draven, but does not in fact get killed. And no, he doesn't. But yeah, very, very close ult there, and Syche's just constantly pushing this top lane, and Lion's nearly getting taken down there in the mid lane.
Oh, there's MVP Syche so far. Gets another pull onto Lazarus. He's called down his turret and has to use the ulti to bash away the threat. But Jonty Wanty is there, he flashes through, doesn't follow up with any major damage because Pro EE was there to protect poor old Lazarus. This gamble that Jonty Wanty took with the LeBlanc is paying off. 4-2-1.
Yeah, I mean, he's been missing a couple of his QR combinations and also his WE, but nonetheless, still doing a very good job on this champion. But the only issue on this team, as I mentioned before, is Spectre still sitting on 0 kills, and that's one of the people that you'd like to have the kills on at this point in the game.
Syche has no cares whatsoever as he pushes up. He's going to go in on Limes. He's got his Mega Knight. It's coming, and he's held back. That is Valen the Savior as Lazarus rotates up as well. And now Syche, who thought that he was in control of things, is going to go down. Gets taken down by Lazarus, who's now on a rampage. 4 kills out of the 7 on his team, sitting on the mid laner Lazarus, who has been doing a very, very good job staying in parity with the LeBlanc, who also has 4 kills. So 7-7, it is absolutely dead even in terms of kills. 3 turrets to 2 in favor of Flaccid, but the Dragons... Oh, sorry, let's hit the backspace. I wasn't even watching that. I don't know why. Let's watch the LeBlanc.
Yeah, I think it was just a beautiful hook across by Syche onto the Morgana there, as you'll see in a couple of seconds.
Oh, he keeps doing that.
Yeah, it's just a vision game. When you play with Blitzcrank, you just get vision and just hook champions across the map, and Valen not having the fast enough fingers to be able to spell shield that fast enough, so pays with his life. But one little interesting thing, actually another
flash
hook.
forward from Syche, he gets the hook onto Lazarus. Lazarus knocks him away though, and takes a huge amount of damage from the long-range Draven ult, but he's managed to stay alive. Jonty Wanty goes underneath the turret, tries to get his combo down, and in fact succeeds. There is no try, there is only kill. Picks up his 6th kill, and I bet you he's going, you know what, I really should have got a Mage Eyes.
Yeah, Jonty Wanty probably rubbing his head saying, maybe I should have got that Mage Eyes after all, because he's getting a lot of kills under his belt. And as I was going to mention, the interesting thing about that top lane exchange where Syche did in fact go down is that the second part of his Q did hit Valen in the bush. If he saw that it hit Valen in the bush, he should have heard the click and he would have known not to go on in. Sorry, not to go in. But obviously not listening to his in-game sounds enough. Jonty Wanty, as he looks to go in, he's going to W and ult back, but no, he gets bursted too fast, so maybe the mid-eyes pick would have been a bad buy after all. And they actually look forward to engage right now.
Yeah, they're trying to convert their advantage into another kill. Syche manages to Blitzcrank jog away. steamroll, whatever. What's that?
Oh, overdrive.
Overdrive.
All right, yeah.
It should be like a steampunk drop or something. And straight away, the Syche from Team Flaccid, out of that single kill that they got onto Jonty Wanty, shifts to the mid lane and they pick up another turret. That's
they're going to trade it for the top lane
now.
turret, though. They will trade it for this top lane turret, though, because Syche is doing a good job at pushing the top lane, and he may buy back, and go and set up for this dragon, because he does have a teleport up.
Dragon in 15 seconds, though, as Flaccid have their position around it, but it's like they don't realize that it is because they're blue pilling. Don't blue pill, Limes, don't. I suppose maybe, oh, we got a Baron on the menu from HKAYCEE.
And the side of Flaccid do realize this is happening. They realize, one, they're contesting a dragon, they may be at Baron, and in fact they are. They actually might force a teamfight around this point.
Yeah, OPL Pro clears away the pink ward, but the positioning is in favor of HKAYCEE at the moment, and they drive Flaccid away from the Baron. And now that they've done it, it was a good try, and even though they didn't get the Baron, they will now get the dragon.
Yeah, that was a very cute move there by HKAYCEE there to try bait the Baron, and then ended up backing out and then walking towards the dragon. So you know, the dragon and the blue buff of Flaccid here, and I kind of feel that HKAYCEE is in a really good spot right now. They're really where they want to be in terms of having the fed mid laner and also a Draven that has a lot of gold potential in his pockets, but yet to really cash in on it.
Limes back in the top lane, trying to push his lane out, but he cannot face this Gnar without assistance. So things have really been set up. Oh man, what am I doing? I should be watching down. I hit the backspace, by the way. Watching down in the jungle, because we're going to get yet another kill. Pro EE goes in on Jonty Wanty, and a lovely long range predicted Q from Valen. Picks up a revenge kill for himself, really, because he's been the punching bag of his team. Now the engage around the red buff goes down. Lazarus is isolated, but he's got 3 champions that he has managed to zone out of the fight, as as Spectre uses his flash to get away. Pro EE is in chase, as well, there's no ulti from Valen available at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, that was just HKAYCEE getting caught at their own rear, and they overstayed a bit because Dream ended up dying for that red buff.
And a nice little rotation, because even though Limes can't split push against Gnar wasn't around, and so he was able to bring the wave all the way up to the turret, and just like that, Tristana plus the rest of the team shredded to pieces and take him down. That said, Syche looking to get his Mega Gnar. They want an engage. It's just about a proc. He's been bound though and held back. He's not going to be able to get in range. There he goes, he comes jumping through, gets himself in, gets a beautiful knock-up. That's just Limes though. It's only one champion, and now Flaccid get their juke boots on and get out of the jungle. They are running as fast as they can. That said, enough damage has gone down onto them that the boys from HKAYCEE fancy their chances at another snack on the Bazkebab.
Yeah, and guess what? Draven ended up getting a kill, so he's extremely in a good spot here. And actually, Lazarus may go down to Jonty Wanty here. Probably going to do his best. OPL Pro, going to get taken down as well. And Spectre is picking up kill after kill now. Finally getting the gold that he much needed. And Baron, 3 kills. And Spectre going to back with a lot of gold.
2,300 gold in the pocket as he blue pills with the Baron boosted back. So what's he? 2-0-3. Which is fantastic for him. He's completed his IE, he's finished his last Whisper, and he's finished a static shiv.
Yeah,
so,
just backed and bought a last Whisper straight off the base. Just didn't get any components, just first back, last Whisper. That's the power of Draven. You get you get your Adoration stacks cashed in, and that's just so much money and raw power you should get from those, from that passive if you can survive in position properly, which Spectre is getting rewarded for. So, a very good positioning so far, and amazing engage there by Dream, and Syche started that fight.
Goodness me, Syche gets caught by Valen, but it's Valen who has to flash away because Jonty Wanty arrives, and absolutely lays down the smack. That said, he's at a blue pill. It'll be very quick because of the damage that he took. Yep.
Syche is actually not going to be in that much of a rush to group up with the team. I mean, he can easily 1v1 Limes at this point. Jonty Wanty going to be able to poke away with his W ult combo or even the WQ ult combo. But yeah, Limes going to have a really hard time trying to 1v1 Syche's in the top lane, especially with no armor items.
Well, let's face it, he's not going to be able to 1v1, and that's why Pro EE heads on up to try to assist him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the rest of HKAYCEE keeping the pressure on. Whoa! OPL Pro sacrifices a Wraith to the grab of Blitzcrank. So well done, Blitzcrank, using his rocket grab to great effect there, and stealing that Wraith from OPL Pro, who will be very, very happy that he didn't actually get called himself, because he would have been an absolutely dead jungler.
The issue with this scenario right here is that Spectre has no lifesteal, so that whenever he gets poked down by Lazarus on this Azir, he can't efficiently lifesteal back up for the start of these fights. As you can see, although they have the Baron buff, they're really struggling to siege onto these turrets.
Yeah, in fact, they've been pushed right off of it. Syche's passive is procced, so he won't have a shield for another 2 minutes or so, I guess. Jonty Wanty looking to create something, just being very, very menacing. And all of this poke that goes down sets things up for a rocket grab from Syche. Shut down on Azir goes to none other than Spectre. So just when his adoration stacks gave him a huge boost, he's back up to 1600 gold in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to back get another BF most likely, and it's just scary right now. At this point, you see Draven 303 with these items. It's so scary to kind of fight against them, and that's the power of Blitzcrank. One hook without a spell shield, then really win the fight off that, because I mean...
Didn't matter that he died, because it won, it got the shutdown gold onto his ADC, and they got a turret.
Yeah, I mean, it was Lazarus for Syche, so that's a trade any team should make any day, because the mid lane carry for the support at the start of a fight, that's a lot of the AP damage out of the fight just straight off the bat, and onto Spectre, that's just a bonus.
Pro EE having a great time farming in the bottom lane and getting things set up for the next Dragon. Now this is Dragon number 4 attempt for HKAYCEE. A complete reversal of the previous game. It was 3-0 in Dragons by this stage in favor of Flaccid. So Flaccid know what this 4th Dragon means, and they're going to be forced to engage, I'm sure.
They may very well brute force this Dragon though, because they do have the gold advantage by a lot. Spectre just bought a shiny new BF sword for this fight, and he has the red buff and both summoner spells at his disposal, so he's going to clear away these wards. But the one advantage that Flaccid do in fact have is the Scuttle Crab is taken down in their favor, so they have that slight movement speed.
OPL Pro just managing to stay out of the vision of that orb. Jonty Wanty gets not an engage, it's just poke. But goodness me, it looked like an engage, and that's the trigger for Flaccid to go for this Dragon. So they've started it off, and they have the move speed buff of the Scuttle Crab, but a grab from Syche gets OPL Pro into the back line there. He gets himself out of dodge, but this Dragon is not going to go to Flaccid. Everyone's very, very low from Flaccid. Nobody just died, but there comes Spectre picking up another kill. He got himself round from behind and took that down. Double kill goes down onto him. Is it a triple? Yes, it is.
That was just amazing teamfight positioning. Spectre playing like he's playing Tristana and is flashing into the backline and auto-attacking, and doing so much damage. And, well, you have a 605 Draven right now, and that's just disgusting damage coming through.
And you know what? The last time he went back, he had 1600 gold in the pocket. He's got another 2,000. So, I mean, imagine what it must be like as a player. At your last 3 backs, you've spent 2,300 gold, then 600 gold, and now another 2,000 gold. There's his Bloodthirster. You can stop calling him out on it now.
He's essentially buying full items every time he backs. Like, he has so much gold in his pockets, it's ridiculous, and he's just getting stronger and stronger, and this game is slipping slightly and slightly out of the favor of Flaccid every time he backs, sorry.
Picks up the red buff just to make sure that everything's in his favor. He's critting at 1300 at this stage.
Yeah,
that's monstrous. 18 and 12. So we're heading to the 33rd minute. Well, we're in the 33rd minute, and it's 18 and 12 in favor of kills for HKAYCEE. But it's the gold lead that really is the big deal. 9,000 gold ahead of their opponents. They've got 4 dragons. Turrets are dead even. But it's the dragons, you can just see, is what they have pegged their win condition onto. And that means in 3 or 4 minutes, it's going to be make or break time for Team Flaccid. That said, Baron is about to spawn too.
Yeah, Spectre did a really cute play there and altered the bot lane, so he does in fact have... Oh, actually, I hope my come across here. It does go slightly wide to the left, but he did a really cute play in terms of ulting the bot lane so that it would monster wave into the turret of Flaccid. So, smart play there, and if someone does peek bot, they can easily rush this for the damage that Draven does offer.
Well, Limes has been forced to go down there.
This is a massive wave bot. That's going to hit the turret and maybe get the turret. So, Limes being taken down to a quarter health, and Valen's flashing even though he had the spell shield. Slight misplay there, but they may very well rush the dragon right now. It's the Baron, sorry.
Hey, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You saw from the future. I forgot. I haven't been hitting backspace on my split cam. So I'm going, oh, Limes is in the bottom lane. He's about to clear it. But he's only getting there now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Limes is in fact hitting the bot lane right now, but Spectre and friends doing Baron right now, and Jonty doing his best job at poking them away and doing a fantastic job thus far, and a free Baron, which seems like not going to get stolen away, and a bit too late by OPL Pro, and gonna have to ult out.
Yeah, he tried, but unfortunately wasn't able to steal it away. Limes not even contemplating a TP as he pushes out his bot lane. And so the Baron is for free, and this time they actually have a pretty decent siege comp.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, they're going to have to force someone back, and Limes is going to be the candidate to go back, and they might very well get this turret just off here. The TP is going to come through, and the parallel convergence does go down.
Yeah, they're trying to... Well, this is really a lot expended just to defend their turret, as time and time again, the LeBlanc, played by Jonty, gets forward, gets a stun down. Look at the massive amount of damage that goes down. Lazarus is surely dead. He is, in fact. Jonty goes on a killing spree himself. The turret goes down quick as you please. So does the inhibitor. And they are so controlled right now. Syche has got the Mega Gnar up. And so they're not really in danger of anything happening. Valen is rushing down with the hope, I suppose, of catching somebody. But, I mean, who was he going to catch and what were they going to be able to do? Gnar was the last man to leave the base.
Yeah, and then now the next objective on the map is going to be that dragon. That's going to happen quite soon, hopefully. And that's 5th dragon, so let's hope for the side of Flaccid that they can, in fact, steal it away. Because if not, it's going to be an extremely short game.
37 minutes. The previous 2 games went over 40 each.
Both teams playing for this late game. I mean, both teams having to have a very big lead in terms of 5th dragon or multiple Baron buffs to be able to finish this game out, which shows how close these teams are in terms of caliber of skill. And yeah, HKAYCEE right now in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I thought the early game went to Flaccid, but I think as soon as the Gnar started to take control of that top lane, their days have been numbered since that point.
Yeah, Gnar did a very good job.
Flaccid on the back foot.
Yeah, Gnar did a very good job in this game in terms of running away with the top lane lead, and he got to itemize that Hex Drinker opposed to Limes, who didn't get any armor whatsoever, which is going to be very hard for him to be able to 1v1 that Gnar, especially when Gnar's known for his 1v1 capabilities and also CC. And we just see Syche in the top lane again, just pushing constantly, and he may very well get this top lane inhibitor turret for this.
In the meantime, at the Dragon turret, HKAYCEE Spectre goes godlike, picking up a nice long-range kill. He's got a double now. The flash forward from Sykes. makes sure that Valen doesn't get away and sets up the triple kill. We might have the makings of a fencer, ladies and gentlemen. Jonty Wanty and the boys setting things up. Jonty, in fact, gets the combo breaker down and stops the Quadra. And meanwhile, the top lane that was a 4 versus 5 because Syche is in the top lane. He's taken down a turret, and in fact, Valen has left the game.
Yeah, more likely than not, that was a bit of a
that's a 4-man surrender.
Over. Let's go to the next game, yeah. And that was the surrender coming through, and yeah, as I mentioned before, Draven, Jonty Wanty doing an extremely good job there in the mid game to do so much damage. And you just look at the damage charts, Jonty did so much damage that game. He did almost doing as much damage as his whole team combined. So props to Jonty Wanty, they're doing a lot of damage on that LeBlanc.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get the damage charts up for you in just a moment. That is HKC taking command and going 2-1 up in this best of 5 match. What a terrific game they have had. Now, it has been once again the blue side team that has won. So, even though they're 2-1 up and 1 step away from victory, HKC have yet to win on the red side. And so, their work is still going to be cut out for them. Here we are into the damage. Oh, shoot. I clicked the wrong button.
That's alright.
Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you won't see the damage charts, unfortunately, because I fat-fingered the wrong button.
Well, it's alright, but definitely, as you mentioned before, the game is definitely be cut out for them. I mean, Flaccid by any means are not out of this because they are so close in these games, not dominating the early game, so it's really up to HKC to kind of fix their early game not deficit, but they have a bit of a slump in the early game before they start get rolling in the mid game. I mean, even with an early game comp, they kind of fell behind, but the mid game team fighting positioning from the side of HKC is just immaculate in terms of how they peel for each other. And Syche on that Blitzcrank just made so many picks across the map. It made it an extremely easy job for Spectre and Jonty Wanty to kind of carry that game.
Very difficult job for Flaccid that they face in the next pick ban phase is who to ban to negate the influence that Syche is having on this match. He's been attracting bans all game long, and he just keeps picking different champions and having a really good impact on the game. That said, we do need to pick an MVP for this game number 3, and who's that going to be?
It's either a toss-up between either Jonty Wanty or Spectre. I mean, even Syche didn't. Okay, all of HKC had a standout job. I mean, Syche made the picks with a Blitzcrank. Spectre did beautiful positioning on that Draven. Jonty Wanty poked away, and Syche just applied so much pressure across the map. So I'm gonna give it towards you in terms of who you want to pick up because I have too many. I want to give it to like 4 different people, so it's up to you.
I think it's going to have to go to Syche because really that was the turning point in the game. He got a huge amount of pressure in the top lane, lost his turret early on from that 4-man push from Team Flaccid, but he just stuck in there and started split pushing magnificently, got some great Mega Nars through both in the top lane. They're dominating his opponent and turning the tides of the fight. So I think even though this has now been our third different choice, Syche is the MVP for me. So congratulations to Syche on HKC. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a moment with game number 4. But for now, this is Crisis and Poon signing out.